And down here at the bottom left-hand corner of ESV Cloud Kingdom, we have our blue Zerg player from the team Karont3 Esports Club. It is Alistor. And his opponent up here in the top right-hand corner from the team CheckSix, winning the last game, trying to find some way to equalize here. It is Mystic.
You know, I think we may be in for a lot of ZVZs here, to be honest with you, because, you know, let's just pretend for a second that Mystic loses this game. Well, the next one they're probably going to send out is going to be Sleep. Yes, so we could be in for quite a few ZVZs, although if Alistor loses this one, I think we're definitely going to see Lucifron. We'll have to see, but that's okay. I like ZVZs. I like the mirror matchups, so here we have another one. This one's going to be Cloud Kingdom, and we can kind of use it to sort of take a look at the differences between what the players do this time and what they did on our last game. We'll do a little bit of comparison. That's what we'll kind of focus on, I think, this game.
All right. Well, I like
cool.
that. We'll make a checklist. We'll have pros and cons.
That's right.
It's
we'll
going
have
to be
a
amazing.
committee to decide what the best opening ever is.
At the end, we'll write conclusions. And the funniest story about conclusions I have is that my mom used to be a third-grade teacher, okay? And she taught her class one year that if you want to write conclusions to things, a sample conclusion or a way to start a conclusion is to say all in all, you know?
Right.
She says this is an example of a conclusion. Well, her students thought that was the only way to write a conclusion. And she asked me to look over some of their essays just to make sure, you know, help her grade a little bit. And I was looking at them. Every single one of them started their conclusion with all in all.
Wow.
Yes.
That
all
is
in
precious.
all, ZVZ is boring.
Come on, take it back.
Gotcha.
ZVZ is not boring.
Gotcha. I know how to troll Doa.
That hurts, man.
I know. I actually quite like ZVZ lately. I think it's become a very fun matchup.
It's fun, and I'm one of those weird people that likes playing ZVZ too. I'm a weirdo, I know. I don't like TVT, but I do like playing ZVZ. And speaking of this ZVZ in particular, we do have Hatch first for both players, so it will be a rather similar opening. The difference will be, you know, when they decide to get their gases early on, and it looks like it will be a slightly earlier gas for Alistor. And that's going to mean most likely a slightly earlier Zergling speed and not a whole lot else of a difference. So all in all, the first couple minutes of this game, unless something crazy happens, in conclusion, all in all, is going to be very similar.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, man,
See, I'm learning.
Third grade essays are about the best things you can read.
I bet.
Especially with a drink in one hand and making fun of third grade children the
Wow.
other. Yeah.
There we go again.
Yeah, it's what I do. You should be used to it by now.
It's true. I am more or less used to it.
Okay. Now I just need to
put it
condition you so you start making the same jokes.
No, it's not going to happen. I'm sorry. No.
Well, that's my new goal. All right. Well, double queens coming up for both players now, of course. And as we see, Alistor was a little bit quicker to his gas, so he's going to have Zergling speed commensurately earlier. And back on Mystic side of things, nothing really to tell these guys apart yet. It looks like Alistor decided to get his structures just a bit faster, so you get his queen out a little bit faster. He's up by one worker, but I mean, really very small differences between these two guys now.
Yeah, pretty much. You know, it's going to come down to where things go after this point, really. You know, when will we see the second gas go down? When will we see the lair go down? You know, will players leave their drones in gas?
Well,
it looks like Mystic is.
But
Alistor?
He's only got
yes.
two.
All right.
So he actually pulled one off. So
yeah. So usually when you see something like that, that's where the player is just kind of building up a little bit of gas to get defensive banelings. That's when you usually want to leave like 2 drones in there. Alistor though, maybe going for something a little bit more aggressive. Well, or Mystic rather, maybe goes for something a little bit more aggressive rather. It's going to be kind of curious. I wonder if it's going to be a super fast lair or just baneling aggression. Most players tend to get baneling nests with Hatch first, but where it's Hatch first versus Hatch first, then it's kind of a bit of a gray area.
Sure.
It's usually safest to still get a baneling nest anyway. Most Zerg players will, but you have the option to skip it sometimes, so we will see.
And looks like scouting Zerglings.
That's for Mystic.
At the very least, delaying things for a while. I don't know if he's seen the Baneling Nest yet. Well, he definitely will now.
Yep, he's seen it. Should know. And a Roach Warren from Alistor. Okay.
Interesting.
All right. So, yeah, no defensive Baneling Nest or anything like that. He's actually just going to create a partial wall here and just make it very difficult for Mystic to get in with his Banelings.
Is this Nesty?
It works just fine. I mean, this is a style that Nesty actually had a lot of success with.
That's right. So I kind of made the joke there, but Yeah, we'll see what Alistar is going to be able to pull off at the moment. Of course, he did save up enough gas so he can make about 8 roaches when the time comes, if he so desires. He's going to have those upgrades ready and in place pretty soon as well. As that Evolution Chamber helping to block the front. And Mystic going for a 3rd hatchery right away. So with his opponent going for what could be a very strong early roach attack, we'll see if this works out in Mystic's favor.
Yeah, now Mystic, I don't know if he's quite expecting the roaches. Has he seen the Roach Warren yet?
Yes.
He has. Okay, all right. So he's kind of counting on being able to do enough aggression with his Zerglings and Banelings early on to keep that 3rd base safe.
Sure.
That's what he's going to start trying to do in the very near future. But it's a bit of a risk if he has an attack that goes pretty badly. If Alistar is able to trade efficiently, he's going to be able to make a very strong counterattack with Roach Zergling and really punish Mystic for going for this fast 3rd.
That's right. And Alistar himself going for that relatively quick 3rd.
Okay,
he does already have 6 roaches finished, though, and going up to another 3 now with +1 upgrade.
Right.
So
both these guys playing really passive, so
yeah,
no punishment in the works really for either of these guys, I think.
Well, Roach Warren now coming up for Mystic, and he does, well, actually, both players on about the same economy, if we're honest at this point. Mystic going to finish up his hatchery, obviously, quite a bit faster than his opponent. There it is, and it's about 60 seconds ahead of what Alistar is doing.
Yeah, okay. And there's the Baneling nest going down for Alistar now. All right. I think that's good. I mean, it's just, if your opponent has Banelings, it's usually pretty rough to go without. And Zergling's running in. They might be able to get a queen kill. That's always nice to have.
Yeah, that's right. So looks like the queen actually getting pretty low. The Roach is trying to help the queen survive, but unfortunately,
they can't transfuse.
Does go down.
Yeah.
Why can't they transfuse themselves?
Didn't get that spell, sorry. Roaches with transfuse would be like the scariest
thing
I
just
in
mean
the
queens
entire
being
game,
able to
man.
transfuse themselves, you know? You would think they'd be able to, but
they just care so much about everybody else. They would never transfuse themselves.
Well, that's
be
kind
selfish
of them.
Yeah, absolutely. They're always giving. Always injecting larvae, always spreading creep. They're always giving, never taking.
Well, these Zerglings were certainly taking some damage there from the Roaches, and let's actually take a look at the Roach count for these two players. 5 Roaches to 19. Alistar still with a pretty good advantage. Of course, his +1 attacks is finished. What is actually up for Mystic? Nothing for Melee, and let me check a Roach here. Nothing for ground as well, actually, just going for that Carapace upgrade for now.
Yeah. This Overseer does not belong. He's not one of the blue Zerg. Punish him. And, all right, so he's going to be able to do a little bit of vision. He likes it. He's like, wow.
Yeah.
Well, all right.
All right. Well, bye-bye. Looks like he was actually apologized, maybe drawing away, trying to occupy his attention so he could run it with Zerglings, but, well, the Zerglings didn't do anything.
That Overseer just wanted to die.
Yes.
Pretty much is what it comes down to. So we do have a pretty well upgraded force coming out right now for Alistar. +1 Carapace does just finish right now for Mystic, though.
That's right. So upgrade's actually pretty consistent. In fact, Mystic, because the Carapace actually affects the Zerglings as well, may have a little bit of an advantage, and he has a better concave here up at the top, but of course Alistar just has so many Roaches, he may be able to push his way through nonetheless. In fact, the Zerglings getting in behind as well. Spinecrawler has grabbed 1 kill, but is going to go down pretty quickly now. A few more units trying to filter their way through, and Alistar just continuing with his attack. Yeah,
Alistar has shown in the past that he's a pretty good Zerg versus Zerg player. And he continues to do that right now. This is a very effective attack, but the problem is that Mystic will be able to reinforce quickly enough to hold this back. So I think the damage that has been done is going to be about it. Wow, Alistar even sending reinforcements, really being committed to this attack.
That's
maybe a little bit too committed, I think, in this case.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. We'll see if, well, Mystic actually going to be able to drive these back now and has a few units running around from the side as well, so he's got his own reinforcements and continues to push kind of the superior concave. Now, Alistar, unfortunately, going to lose a couple of Roaches as he moves away as well. I think that was 3 that just went down there in a row and hasn't done too much damage in return. So that was a pretty good advantage for Alistar. Lost a little bit of it. In fact, is down in worker, so has more units to make up for that, but still kind of a weird exchange there.
You know, Alistar doesn't really need to be attacking right now. That was a mistake. He needs to sit back and wait for +2 to finish, use that advantage to go ahead and do more damage. He can click on those Roaches anytime he wants to see the upgrades, and it looks like he's got enough now. This is kind of what you see a lot in Roach versus Roach. You see back and forth action, reinforcements coming in, pushing back the opponent yet again. And once +2 finishes, I think we're going to see Alistar start to get a little bit more momentum in this.
That's right. And in fact, it finishes up in 5 seconds, but still just weird times for him to attack. There, it's finally done. So now the upgrades are going to come in handy. And as you can see, I mean, the upgrade advantage does end up being pretty big. Alistar starting to push those forces back as he continues to reinforce once again, but just being ultra aggressive this entire game.
Man, this is just like a knockdown, drag-out ZVZ, man. I mean, they just want to punch each other in the face over and over again until one of them falls over.
It's a very manly competition.
I know, seriously. It's just I'm going to just like throw my roaches at you, and then you're going to throw your roaches at me, and that's just how we're going to play this game.
All right. Well,
Roach
once again,
roach.
with a few additional lings, it looks like Mystic is able to push him back just to the bottom of the ramp, and then Alistar's reinforcements catch up now. Alistar actually making a few lings to kind of filter in behind this as well. He will certainly need them as Mystic did just produce a round of his own.
Yeah, I think that's a good choice to add in some lings as well. That's going to kind of save him a little bit more in this case, because you can see the supply gradually continuing to go up for Alistar, as it generally is kind of staying the same, if not maybe even going down a little bit over time for Mystic. So Alistar still in an okay spot, but it's right on the edge. You know, I think he may still be a little bit too aggressive. But this might do it right here.
All right. Well, the Zerglings were able to soften up the roaches enough that he's able to kind of punch on through. So maybe that's a punch to the face that he needed there.
Maybe.
All right.
Yep, that was the Roach Haymaker now, and it looks like Mystic is about ready to fall over. 12 more roaches on the way. Yeah, the economy just not quite as good for a Red Zerg player too, and that +1 attack or +2 attack for Alistar really, really helping a ton right now.
All right, so he has finally been able to take advantage of the workers. He, in fact, was 47 to his opponent's 60 not too long ago, but Mystic just lost too many workers there. But the reinforcements are still coming in so slow for Alistar. Man, he's just one by one, the roaches keep creeping forward.
It's just grueling to watch here.
I know.
And those little fights are ones that Mystic still can win, but he's still got roaches to deal with in that main base or in that third base area. So
that's right.
Alistar continuing to pile on the pressure. This could go on for pretty much ever, actually, this fight right here. This could never end.
That's right. But you know what? Alistar is finally starting to slowly pull the advantage, like you said. He's now up by 10 workers. He's got an advantage in terms of roaches, but man, this is ever so slow.
It's like the never-ending battle right here. Where are the reinforcements for Mystic? We need to even things up a little bit. Well, there we go. Here we go.
Slowly filtering in. Look at the roaches. The roaches come in
Alistar.
one by one. Hurrah! Hurrah!
And reinforcements for Alistar, pushing back to Mystic. Yep. There we go. And there he goes.
This is ZVZ at its finest here.
Yeah, that's right.
ZVZ, ladies and gentlemen.
But I mean, this is kind of a weird ZVZ. Normally, you would see one player be like, "All right, I can't quite kill him here. I'm going to go back and."
Alistar doesn't understand what it means to hold up for a minute.
That's right. He doesn't know what it's like to hold back. Yeah.
Well, it looks like he's going to continue to walk his way in now. Saw the big splotch of red on the map. Like, oh my god! Oh wait, that's just all overlords.
Yep. And this may be enough. Oh, never mind. Reinforcement. It still may be enough.
I think it is, actually.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, GG! There it is. Yeah, and I mean, if you look at the supplies that entire time, it was very slow, but Alistar was going up, Mystic was going down.
That's right.